Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Yoinda Mulalao. How are you guys doing? If you're seeing my face for the very first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can keep getting videos from me. And also my regular subscribers, I appreciate you guys. In today's video, I'm going to be responding to lots of DMs about why we moved to Alberta, Calgary. Like, a lot of people have been asking me, do you think it's the right choice to move here and all of that? And I get why they're asking, because when myself and my husband were about to move here, there was a lot of back and forth. Should we move here? Should we not move here? It's something you should actually seriously consider and research on. So you should not just make a rash decision and start coming. So while we were coming here, or before we even moved at all, I initially filled Saskatchewan in our application. We're supposed to move to Saskatchewan. Mind you, I have a friend in Saskatchewan. My cousin stays in Ontario, but it was just like, we're not ready to go to Ontario because we've heard about how big Ontario is, the Ontario life and all of that. Personally, me, I'm not like about that life. But then my husband was like, okay, why should we move here and all? And we had those back and forth going on. But then at the time I was pregnant, and by divine providence, we found ourselves in Calgary in Alberta, especially because of our baby. So now, to respond to all of those people asking, why is it that you moved here? I would explain to you, giving like five different reasons. When we moved here, quite all right, it was basically because of our baby and our family. But upon moving here, we've discovered that there are several reasons why you should actually come to Calgary or come to Alberta, like as a province, because there are several benefits of us actually moving here. But let me explain to you the things that I think, okay, somebody should move here because of these reasons. Now, this is based off of my own experience, not that somebody asked me to come and say, come to Alberta because of these reasons. So you still need to do your research if you want to come here. It's not like I'm forcing you, I'm just answering questions. I'm also putting it out there because while we were researching, should we move here, we got lots of videos we watched, so many things we had to check before we eventually settled to come into Calgary. And also with the help of God. Before I even start anything, if you're coming here with PNP, that's a provincial nomination, know that you can't do this. That is the first thing you need to know. Any province that gives you the nomination, you need to stay there, you need to land there and be there for a while. So you can't do this. But we came in through federal skilled worker, and you can land in any province, even if you filled a particular province at the onset. So we filled a different province, but we landed in a different province. That's fine. So I said earlier that the first reason that made us move here was our baby. I was pregnant at the time, and we're looking for a baby-friendly province. What do I mean by baby-friendly province? A baby-friendly province meaning that somewhere where we can raise our kids and have lots of, even if it's little benefit for these kids. And what do I mean by that? There are so many organizations here that help out, especially children mothers, and Alberta is one of the provinces that does that. I have made my research. Other provinces do so too, but we've seen that there are more of these organizations in Alberta, to be precise, especially in Calgary, that they reach out to mothers who have kids. You're landing at the time, I was just landing, so I needed all the help and support I could get. And that province, this province, Alberta, Calgary, was helping to do all of that. So we landed here. That's number one reason. And while we came, I discovered that even daycares, day homes, and all other things following the birth of the child, this place has so much accessibility compared to other provinces. So it really made it just the right choice for coming here. The second reason, and is linking to the first reason, is that Alberta is very welcoming to immigrants. Like, very welcoming in the sense that they have immigrant support, lots of immigrant support that they would help you when you get here. I've shot a video on how you can get access to them, and then you can find that in my videos. But then in Alberta, Immigrants are welcome. Immigrants are welcome everywhere, but you know how somebody just gives you the right information on how to get into the system. Alberta is very, very big on that. And that's another reason why you should come here, because coming here is not easy. But if you get someone that puts you in the right direction, that points you where you're supposed to go to, your journey will be quite easier. So that's number two. Another reason why you should come to Alberta that I personally feel like this is like a very big advantage is what the government just did. So there's this program that the government just opened up. I think they opened it last year. So the program is called Alberta Advantage Immigration Program, AAIP. It's a new program, and another province that does this is Saskatchewan, where you can get nominated because your family member lives in Alberta. Like they give like 25% of people who have family close relation. And when I mean close relation, I mean siblings or maybe just the family, like the immediate family living in Alberta. So if you have families from back home and they want to get into the pool, you still need to do all of the same things that you need to do like a federal skilled worker, all the documentation and all. The only thing Alberta does, which is an extra advantage, is that you get 600 points nomination just because you have a sibling in Alberta. How cool is that? Especially now that the draws are ranging up to 500. And for you to qualify for this Alberta Advantage Immigration Program, you only need to have as high as 300 points. Make sure that your NOC is part of the NOCs that they are picking, and you get the 600 point nomination just because you have a family member here. So it's very sweet to be in Alberta. It's very sweet to come here because when you get here, you know, over time you'll be able to also bring in your family members. You can look this up on Canada's immigration website and you understand more about this. But isn't that sweet that you are in Alberta and your family members get advantage for being in Alberta? So why not come here? Another point I would like to say is about the taxes. And this one, I can't stress it enough because I've heard so many people talk about it. Taxes here are 5%. Like goods and services tax, I mean. In Calgary, in Alberta, you pay 5% taxes, like good GST, goods and services tax. So if you buy anything, you pay 5%. But in other provinces, you pay as high as 13%. And it didn't make more sense to me until I was speaking to a friend of mine who stays in Manitoba. And I was just telling her about how I got a job, like a minimum wage job. A minimum wage job here is $15. So I was just speaking to her about it and she was like, hey, and you are complaining. Like not like she didn't want me to aim higher, but she was just trying to explain to me that a minimum wage job here and you're getting $15 per hour and she getting that kind of amount, it's different. And she broke it down to me. She was explaining that after paying for stuffs that she buys, she has to pay 13%, and I'm paying 5%. And if we are earning the same thing, we are actually not earning the same thing because she'll pay $13 on whatever thing she buy, and I pay $5 on whatever thing I buy. And I sat down and it made more sense. Like, wow, now Alberta, you only pay 5% tax. So it's higher because they also have the HST. Why we don't have the HST? All we pay is the GST. So Alberta is sweet because you don't even have to pay so much. And even if you are earning the same thing, you're still more or less like earning more than somebody that is in another province. And the last thing I would say is the affordability. Alberta is more affordable than many other provinces. And why do I say so? The taxes I just mentioned is number one. And number two is that the standard of living here is much more lower than the standard of living anywhere else, like in other provinces. Take a look at Ontario, for example. In Ontario, houses are very, very expensive compared to this place. The standard of living in Toronto, in Ontario, in other different provinces are really high. It's like you're staying in Lagos for somebody who comes from Nigeria. And you know when they say in Lagos that owó Èkó l'Èkó ń gbé, I don't know how to put it, but there's a way they say it that whatever money you make in Lagos stays in Lagos. So it's like you're making the money for the city. You're not making the money for your pocket. And because of this reason, a lot of people have even started coming down all the way from different provinces, especially Ontario, coming down to Alberta because the standard of living here is quite affordable. We moved here by divine providence, but then over time I've discovered that it's just a really nice place to live. It's really cool to stay in Alberta, really affordable. You would get to enjoy your life, be able to plan your life better, especially planning your family. And it's a very good place to raise your family. So I know that some people watching this video will be like, okay, so is there any pros to living in Calgary? Is there any pros to living in Alberta? Yes, Alberta is much more colder than some provinces, but I would say that we cope because it's not like you will die inside the cold. You need to take the precautions whenever there is cold, and you'll be fine. And another thing they used to say in this Calgary is that if you don't like your weather, you can stay like 5 minutes and then the weather changes. It can be raining just now and then in another 5 minutes it's sunny, although this doesn't really happen in winter, but you'll definitely be fine. Another thing anyone would ask is, okay, what of jobs? Yeah, there are jobs here and you can also get remote jobs, but I'm saying that anywhere you are, regardless of whatever province, you can always get a job. You can get a job in Calgary and still be working in maybe BC, or you can get a job in Calgary and be working remotely, of course, and be working in any other province. You will definitely get a job. You will definitely be able to live well. It's just the grace of God. And lastly, I'll say before you even make your moves to going to any province, please do your research. Try to pray about it. Is God setting your foot in motion to go to that place? And at the same time, after doing all of your research and putting things together, you need to also hear from God. If God is setting your foot there, whether the place is fine or it's not fine, you will be fine. That's one thing I can say for sure. That if God sets your foot somewhere, you will definitely be fine, regardless of whether somebody says the province is bad or the province is good. By the way, there's no bad province in Canada. Everywhere is good. Everywhere has their pros and cons. You just need to make the right decisions for yourself, backing it up with God. So I hope with this few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that Alberta is a very good province. For me, I'll say the best province because I'm here. So it's the best province ever. So if you've watched this video and you think that you want to share with somebody, you should share with someone. Please share with somebody that you think needs this video. Also, like, comment if you are in Alberta or you are in any other province and you think it's a nice province too. Please comment, make your comments, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.